Right. Let me begin by banging the gavel. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. And so, by declarations of apologies for absence.
So, Councillor Paul Clements and Councillor Dan Birch.
Thank you. Any declarations of interest? No, thank you very much. To confirm as a correct record of the minutes of the meeting of the council held on the 15th of December 2025 at the Community Hall, John Corbett Room. Thank you. Seconder, thank you. All those in favour? Anyone against?
Any abstentions?
Any abstentions? Item 4, Mayor's announcements. Well, I haven't really done an awful lot since the last meeting, mainly because we've had Christmas and New Year and a holiday in Wales. But we have got one or two things coming up that are very important. We have got the opening of this nice new museum in February, 9th of February. On the 14th of February, it will be my civic service, and that will be at St Peter's Church. The 15th. The 14th is St Valentine's Day, apparently. So the 15th is the Sunday, it will be my civic service. And on the 28th of February, we are having a concert at the Norbury Theatre. It is Voices Unlimited, and they are absolutely brilliant. So that will be for my charities, which, as you know, are the Cadets and Parkinson's UK. They are absolutely brilliant. So if you wish to go to that, it'll be at 2:00 in the afternoon, and you'll have to go through the Norbury Theatre to get your tickets. So please, it would be lovely to see some of you there. You will be surprised how good they are. The only other thing I've got to say is I've only been done one thing since Christmas, and that was to go to the chiropractor soon. Eric had to go with the glasses and things there. I was too much of a coward to go to put things on my ears and on my eyes and things. But we spent a good hour there with them, and they've been there for 10 years now at the Godelu, so we went and said well done to them.
Actually, Aunt Mary is actually one of my former pupils, Andrew. He saw.
Yes,
he's done well. A lot of my former pupils do well.
He did say. He did say.
Where I
you
taught
were
him when he
his
was 10,
teacher.
you know, it's amazing.
Yes, he did say.
Good
you
start,
were his
wasn't
teacher.
That's right.
So that's the end of the mayor's announcements. So item 5 is policing in Droitwich Bar. So Ben, would you like to?
Good evening, everybody. How is everybody? All right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed. Can I just pass around some of these so you can have a quick look through, if you don't mind? So it makes sense when you hear the report. So the Raven Hotel fire is still under investigation by ourselves. The officer investigating is awaiting a statement from the owner to detail the cost to them for removing any debris, asbestos, and what is going to be preserved. Once this has been done, a file is going to be sent to the prosecution service. The banking hub is now open, as we know. I did a drop-in the day before it's formally opened, and I had a good engagement with the public and bank staff and post office staff. I learned that there's new banking protocols coming from the banks that work there. So an explanation about the banking protocol is when a customer attends a bank or post office and requests a cash withdrawal or transfer of funds, branch staff are trained to spot the warning signs that suggest a customer may be falling victim to a scam. and whether the suspect is in the vicinity, i.e. the local area, before alerting ourselves to intervene and investigate. Like I said before, I'm very interested to learn what groups I could possibly attend to talk about scams and frauds, because I do want to try and educate as much as I can. Simon Matthews, who is a prolific shoplifter in the Droitwich area, has now been given a criminal behaviour order thanks to shops reporting him. This prohibits him from entering stores named and also wearing a face covering, both of which he has done before. So, for example, he comes in wearing a face mask or something deliberately obscuring his identity, then that is an arrestable offence. If he comes into the shops as well, the shops that he's banned from, that is also arrestable, so that needs to be reported to 111 or online or 999 in case of an emergency. There is other stores that he has shoplifted from, but unfortunately those shops have not reported it, so that's why they've not been included in the list of the criminal behaviour order. However, since he's had this issues, his name has not surfaced, nor has he not surfaced around the Droitwich town area, which is very unusual, which is a good thing for the shops, but it's a bit unusual. The Home Office has asked ourselves and police up across the country to complete a document every week called the Winter of Action. This records all police activity being done in town centres. This is collated nationally by the Home Office. The drop-ins that I'm doing are being put on this, and other police activities that we're also doing, just so it's all collated. The drop-in sessions that I'm still doing on a weekly basis are very popular, with a wide range of individuals wanting to speak to us for the first time or repeat visitors. It is a good physical deterrent for shoplifters and to catch up with the staff as well. It's proving useful when engaging with the public, as well as it's giving people who wouldn't normally have a chance to speak to the police a chance to actually learn about what's happening in their area. So whenever someone speaks to me, like if they want to speak to me, I'll just say, ask them how things are, where they live, anything that they've heard or seen that might be concerning them, and then just make a mental note like that is, just to try and, if there's anything that they raise, we can go back to the local policing team or just say, look, we are doing X, Y, Z, or it's a completely new issue altogether, then go back to them and say what we are going to be doing. The banning posters that I have been passing around is still very much work in action, unfortunately. There's not been a great reception so far from some of the shops. The charity shops are very interested in Droitwich and are proudly showing them, but it's still work in progress for the other shops to try and display them. We are going to be looking to hold a business meeting with St Andrew's Square tenants, which is going to be discussing any issues that they have been having. There was a recent tenants meeting recently with the site manager Sajid, who raised no concerns, but they are very pleased with the level of policing that they're currently seeing on a daily basis. We are going to look to do one with the retail park staff as well, so we can hear their input as well. In relation to what's happening further afield from Droitwich town, so across the east and west areas, there's a lot of rural burglaries taking place at the moment. So there's nothing in the Droitwich town area, thankfully, but in the more rural areas, there's a lot more. So we are doing a lot more charge patrols in the rural areas as well. So we're trying to combat like any wildlife crime, but also trying to catch these individuals. But we need people to report things to us as well. So if people are coming to you saying, oh, there's a car parked outside our address the other night, or neighbours, if they get anything on CCTV and they're concerned about it, ask them to report it to us, because that little bit of information that they might have accidentally seen might be crucial for us to try and get something. They are doing the same method, trying to get into the properties as well, like flashing lights as well, and also like smashing the doors and everything. This is predominantly taking place in the Hartlebury area, Elmley, Lovat, and Crowell. And like I said, we are doing quite a lot of targeted patrols in those areas as well. So that's it from my point of view. Has anyone got any questions on anything that they'd like to ask, or anything that I'm not sure about with the banning posters? Yep.
I just ask, I'm very interested in that, in your report about the banning. I think it was very good. That chap you're talking about, Simon Matthews, have they all got photographs of it? And they're not in
Yes, they all know by sight. So thankfully, a lot of the shops in the retail park know him by sight, and some shops are a bit like, well, we can't get involved with that. Other shops in the retail park will just be on the head to like, oh, we've got Simon again, yeah, kick him out. So they are very good with that. In relation to, there has been a spate recently of about 5 thefts where a group of individuals have gone to 5 shops within the last week. The only one that has reported that theft is Aldi. So there've been 4 other shops that they've gone into. They don't have reported it because I said to them, look, if you can report it, it would be good for us so we can try and hit them with everything. But unfortunately, the 3 other shops that they've been to haven't reported it, as far as I know. There was something that I saw on Spotted Droitwich yesterday, but I can't find it now, about Ormsty Street West, about a motorbike that had been broken into or something. As far as I know, I've not seen any reports of that on our systems yet. So I know that people are still reporting stuff on Spotted, but they're not necessarily telling us as well. Anyone got any other questions about the, yes?
Just, not so much you, but with regards to the Raven,
Yeah.
I'm a bit concerned about the security aspects there. Can the county and district council help us on that one? What's going on there?
There's going to be a meeting soon about the Raven, so we'll have more information. I did ask for a full update by which even before Christmas, like early December, and all I was told is there's nothing much to report. We're going to have a meeting next month in January, so that's been organised now. I'm just waiting for it to happen, but I've had no proper updates, so I have no idea.
Well, I'm sure majority of people will be a bit concerned about security around that area.
I'm a bit frustrated by the lack of updates and information, to be honest, but I can't force it out of them as much as I would like to.
Because there is commercial sensitivities around the Raven
Yeah.
security, etc., which I'm not going to get into. However, what I will say, like I said before, if people are saying to you that people are still going to the Raven to do what they need to do, phone it to us. Because there's been no reports whatsoever of anyone going in there. When I've been on lakes, for example, I can see all the fencing that's been pushed down as well. On the Worcester Road, where they have been going around the back, again, that's been broken into as well, but again, no one is speaking to us. So we need people, if people live in the local area or anything like that, if they see or hear anything like that, just give them a 909. Because we will be speaking to them, we'll be directing the details if we do find them, and then dealing with them accordingly. So we do need people to try and start speaking to us as well. Okay?
Councillor Morris, did you have something to say?
I think Ben covered it really, because there is sensitivities, but Whichever is paying to support the security at the moment.
Councillor Brooks.
Yes, just a thought, but I just wondered whether you and your colleagues feel that you're properly supported by the court system when you've gone to a lot of trouble to apprehend an offender for things like shoplifting. Is that, I say, with your hard work, do you think your hard work is supported by the court system, or should we be asking our MP to perhaps?
I think it's a very, very difficult thing.
I know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the
That's
spot.
okay. I think it's a very difficult thing when it comes to sentencing individuals, because there's lots of reasons why that person. There is times, for example, like when we have put a lot of work, like you say, into things, and then we are equally surprised and think, okay. Other times, there's like, okay, we weren't expecting that, but again, it's very difficult because the courts have got very things, and it is difficult because you do put a lot of work into it, but equally, it's frustrating for the shops as well, because then it just reinforces the same thing for the shops. Well, what's the point of reporting it? Nothing's going to get done, and it's very difficult. And I have empathised with the shops as well and said it is frustrating for you, it's frustrating for us as well, but and ultimately it's down to the courts.
Yeah, Councillor Sinclair.
That's a question on a completely different issue. I don't speak to you or the county council, I'm not sure. But I very nearly got run over last week on St Andrews Road because somebody was going up the one-way street the wrong way. And actually I've talked to people about it, quite a few people I know see the same thing. And part of the reason is the lack of signage as you go across there, particularly the one on the road, which is almost invisible. Is it a police matter that or a county council matter?
Be county council, but if it's happening regularly, maybe we could just have a traffic patrols. Like if it's regularly happening at a certain time, we can happen to be down there, and then if we can educate, and then how that person is, we might end up getting the ticket at the end of the
Well,
day.
the actual markings need redoing. Okay, that's what the problem was. When the lady apologised, was very apologetic, she stopped. So
I can speak to her
you're
about
going
safety
you're going a long way down a one-way street. Yeah, yeah.
I can speak to our road safety colleagues about it tomorrow and just see if they can batter towards their council contact and see if there's something that can be put into place. Anyone got anything else?
No.
Okay. In relation to, what was I going to say? So at the moment, what I'm trying to do with all the businesses around Droitwich, like the ones that are empty, I'm trying to get the floor plans as well. So we got that on our systems as well, what's actually going on there. In relation to the farm barber shops, I have visited them this weekend, and this weekend just gone, sorry. So I've gone with the guys, I've checked and see how things are. Ultimately, it's to gather intel about who's working there, nationalities, etc. So I've had a frosty reception from a couple, and they've been a bit unsure why I've been asking the questions, even though it's just like I don't want to come and there's just a problem. I'd just rather just see like what's going on, like just to try and show that we're there for the police as well, but also just to try and understand what's actually going on there as well. So if, for example, there's things that people are saying to you about any of the farm barber shops or anything like intelligence-wise, please pass that on to us as well, because people have been saying information about some of the barber shops as well. I can't go into which ones they are, but they have been mentioning things. So anything that they're saying that you might think is a bit unusual, and I know say it a lot, but just please let us know. Okay, because we can only do something when people start speaking to us. If they're very worried, Crime Stoppers, but if they want to put the trust in us, please get them to get in contact with us and we'll be able to reassure them. Anything else to feedback on? Anyone unsure about any of the banning stuff at all? Okay, so just in relation to the banning, so what we're trying to do with the banning stuff, this is quite a popular thing in Worcester. So if, for example, someone's been banned from one, potentially being banned from all. So if there's a shop displaying that window and they know Joe Bloggs is banned from that shop, they can then phone us up to say, Joe Bloggs is in our shop, he's refusing to leave, we can come and deal with it accordingly. But like I said, it is proving a bit difficult with some of the shops to try and get them to show it. Some are a bit unwilling to do it, others are saying because of head office and the corporate would not allow, so that is work in progress at the moment. But hopefully it can make Droitwich a safer place as well. Any other questions or anything?
No, say thanks for everything that you do.
You're welcome. But if anyone wants to speak to us individually as in the town team, please get in contact with myself or Sergeant Kath Axton, and we can look to have a meeting just to hear what your residents are saying to you that you want to fit back to us, and we can just try and understand what the actually issues are going on. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care all. Thank you.
Right, so we're on to item 6 now, county council matters. Is that you, Councillor Morris?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I know it's not on the agenda, it's just going to update on the youth council briefly, which I know is not counted. But we had the first youth council in 2026 with school representatives from all the schools in the area. And with Chris Bath, who's the new teacher supporting there, we asked the schools to come up with what they want to focus on, the students, and really good work that they went through, but they came up with 3 main areas: reading, physical health and mental health, cover many things. But we drilled down to some of the things that they were looking at. So book exchanges, the mini library, youth shelters or places to meet safely, healthy eating, art club for children, nature walks, community gardens, reading sheds, support with walking, school cycling, Droit Ink, so that's ink as in artwork, colour runs, mental health support for children, outdoor gym, with a number of them. So what they've done now is taken that collection of ideas, going back to their individual schools and passing that back to their students to make sure that they're on the right tracks. And then in the February meeting, they'll come back and conclude with the initiatives that we're keen to take on and support. I put a note out on Facebook, so they may have read that. I'm trying to get community involved. So if there's any community groups that could help with some of these, then that is a quick win in some respects to try and help the young people in the town. So hopefully we can move forward with a number of those as we progress. In terms of county, a few traffic regulation orders, TROs, have been put in place for areas by Westacre and the high school, including over the bridge area that gets really congested with drop-offs. They will be enforceable, so what we'll have to get is the team to go down there on a regular basis to enforce, and they're on the keep clear signs as well. The issue previously was keep clear, but they weren't TRO'd. You could have a double whammy, keep clear and TRO to get them enforceable. A couple of the paths are to be resurfaced, one on the canal side between Stolton and Arrowcroft off Ledwich, and the other from Ledwich itself leading towards the station. And that was one of the carers invited me down to Westmead Care Home. And the gentleman there tried to get into town and the ground wasn't that supportive, so we've now managed to, well, will hopefully manage to eradicate some of the issues to help that movement towards the town. Still waiting to hear on the options for a better solution for the Copker Junction. Myself, Councillor James Ann Birch, keep applying pressure. We've been told a long time ago that they would be doing an options paper of things that could be considered. We're still waiting, and we keep chasing the cabinet member there as well for that. And you may have read Herefordshire or Worcestershire Fire Rescue Service, who gave an update at County Council last week, had confirmed that the Broadwich Fire Station will be staying in town. There was a lot of discussion, and they were considering it, of moving out to the perimeter of the town. That's not cost effective now with budget issues, so they've firmly committed to staying within the town, which is good news, I think. That's generally the update. We had a county council meeting last week, a lot of discussion over budgets. You may know county is in severe financial situation, so the administration are looking at some dramatic action, and through votes last week some of the things got changed slightly, but that will come out in the next few months.
Thank you. Any comments on that? Anyone got anything to say? Yes, Councillor.
Anything that the youth council can do to encourage more literacy would be good, based on what you read on social media. I mean, I'm only speaking from my knowledge, but people should be challenged, given books that are above what you would expect them to, but things they would want to read, which you would not expect them to be able to read. But if they've got something they really want to read, then they'll read it somehow. Yeah.
I think that's the idea of the book exchange, to try and help with that.
Any other comments? Yes, Councillor.
It was just regarding curbside, dropping the curbs. Obviously, there's a lot of streets where we don't have any, and also people in wheelchairs are struggling to get around. Now, obviously, want the county councils to be pushing, and all the budgetary constraints, but all we ever hear about is budgetary constraints for the last 15, 16 years is all we've ever heard. So is that going to be impacted? Is there a reduction in the budget that might be used for that? Or is there any way that you can push county to actually put some more resources into that? Because it's not fair, and it should be a legal requirement for all paths to be safely navigated by people in wheelchairs and mobility scooters.
I agree with your point for sure. It took me about 2 years to get one done in the Dale for a drop curb, and in the end I had to give some of my local money to support to getting that done, because there was a severely disabled person who couldn't, the curb was just too much. So it is a battle for sure. You just got to keep ploughing ahead. If there's a need, we just got to keep pushing for it. And through councillors and the machinery at county, hopefully we can get them done. But they're not quick ones by any means, unfortunately.
So the budget's probably going to be cut in that area, is it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, adult social care, children's services, statutory services are seen as predominant, so the other areas are facing the cuts.
Can we ask that the county councillors really try and push this at county council to sort of try and get them to find some budget to sort of improve on it? That would be appreciated.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Any other comments? No? Okay, thank you. Item 7 then, district council matters. Is this Councillor Duffy or Councillor France? Which one is it?
I've sent it out, nothing to report today.
Okay.
I've got a few things, so I'm just getting used to these classes on. So, in terms of protecting green spaces, so residents at the Droitwich East Resident Association meeting, looked at, were interested in knowing how we can protect green spaces. So, for example, Green Bank was their concern. So I am working with the park officers to come up with solutions to sort of try and put in strong safeguards. I know there's other things that are happening in the town, etc. But obviously, we just want to look at all options. Road sweeping, obviously, trying to do a process with the district council to be informed of where they're going to be doing road sweeping, so we can get a letter out to residents to say voluntarily, can you keep your car off the road in order to enhance the road sweep. I've managed to get one street done so far, the Ridgeway. I'm not saying I haven't been out doing other areas, but I have not been informed of others, so I'm trying to push that as well. Obviously supporting an elderly couple with platform housing, another one with serious dampness issues as well as accessibility issues. The Speedwatch team are starting up. We've now got our team members. We're just now organising the training, so hopefully we'll have a Speedwatch in Droitwich, and we've got a number of roads that we'll be able to start with, and then we'll also add on to them later on. I'm going to take full credit for saving bingo at Lutherfield House. For some reason, Platform had decided to ban them, and once we got the information together and presented, it was they reversed their decision. So Lutherfield House are happy as I am, and that's it. Thank you very much.
They're banning bingo.
Yeah, it's because they do play with money. And you've got to, if you go over a certain amount, then you have to have a gambling license, which costs thousands of pounds. But they were paying for pennies, and the thresholds have never really gone up as well. So this was brought in over a decade ago, and the thresholds have never changed. So they're right on one aspect of the gambling, they're right on the edge sort of thing, but on the other parts of it, they went nowhere near. But anyway, Platform finally seen a bit of common sense and reversed the decision.
Well, we played for Kid Cats and the Stroke Club. I won a lot of Kid Cats at the Stroke Club.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I can add a few things. I can't leave bingo there, unfortunately. But you'll all know that the leisure centre upgrade's well underway. The car park's complete now. But the learner pool and some of the upgrade in the leisure centres now being worked on. Skate park pump track should be worked on and ready for the summer or over the summer. The Lido upgrade will then commence once we've got the leisure centre complete. So we're looking at the next steps there. There is some additional youth support that's likely to come through, but I'm still waiting for more information to know how that will support. It's likely to be this money that's come from government, so it's how we can use it effectively within the town. We've mentioned briefly the Raven. There will be a master plan developed for the Baxenden site and Netherwich Basin, and hopefully from the master plan we can get the developers to come forward with appropriate plans. And we're looking to try and get support for high street historic buildings as well through a listed building risk study. So that's being worked up at the moment, something that we could utilise within the town. Willow Court is developing well, and that should be open towards the autumn.
October.
Yeah, towards the autumn, which is brilliant. That's the old Boycott Farm. Saltwich Splash Pad will be open in the summer, we hope. And we look to be taking Ibney Estate through planning in the next couple of months. So,
Okay, thank you.
some
Yes.
good news.
Can I just ask a bit more about the splash pads in the park? Is it going to have a fence around it? I mean, it's completely open at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, they've done a survey on that. I don't know the results yet.
Yeah, because it looks a bit dark, because you've got these entrances, this gate over the path, and yet the actual green is completely open anyway, so it's makes it somewhat redundant to have these. So what is this, and will it definitely open in the summer? It's fine. I know some of the neighbours from my road have got great reservations about the noise and about where the effluent is going to go. It is going to go into the river bladder, you know, so is it actually going to definitely happen?
My understanding it will open,
Yeah.
but they've got external contractors to assess the requirement for a fence or not.
Sorry, the fence, is that the audit that was going to be carried out, the accessibility audit?
Accessibility.
Right, yeah,
Sports sound children, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of, I put a post out on Facebook about this, and I got inundated, shall we say, with parents of sent children who were adamant that it needs a fence. Their arguments were very strong, totally back them on it now, because it's totally understandable. My only concern is if the audit comes back and says it's not needed, then there's a fight there to say we do need it, because I think we do, to be honest.
I would agree with you, yeah, that's what I think so.
Including dogs, I think, because people do let the dogs off.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, good point.
Any other comments?
If I may,
No,
What do you
can't.
think? Shall we allow this gentleman up the corner to say something?
I was just curious when I sent you emails about that dog race being up on my patch. I was curious if there's any update on that.
Any update on what?
I sent some emails to Mark, I think it was you, about the dog wing.
Which location was it?
Ooh. Great question, I can't remember. But one of the ones up on Southwest.
We've got 2 instructed and we've got 3 pending. It's on CNA to 23rd of February.
Yeah, there you go.
Highly irregular February.
Can I just say that we've no report on the place board because we've not had a meeting since the last meeting. But we have got a meeting with the place board next Tuesday. So I'll report back after that.
Fair enough, fair enough. Right. Where are we? Item 8 then. Council estimates and precept 2026 and 2027.
Thank you, Chairman. So these were taken to the 2 committees last week. So it was to ratify really parts A and B. The first bit is the Community and Amenities Committee. So the recommendations from the meeting last Monday. So that's budgets, fees and commissions for the forthcoming period 26-27.
Right, so can I have a proposal for this then, please? And a seconder? Yeah, all those in favour of this, ratifying it? Thank you very much indeed.
I'm going to say, as Jamie is here, and to thank the staff for all the work on this.
Yes.
They do a great job on this. Well done, Jamie. Mark.
Yeah.
Very
Yes. It's not often we can say thank you, Jane. She's never here.
Thank you for coming, Jan.
I needed her here today.
So part B is the other half of the estimates and budget, but it also includes the preset. So that was the small rise on preset to last year. And again, that was reported, updated, and the financial report went out last week.
Yeah. Right, can I have a proposer? And a seconder? Thank you very much. All those in favour of ratifying this? Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bless you. Item 9, Internal Auditors Interim Report for the period of 25-26.
Thank you, Chairman. So this one, the audit comes twice a year. His interim visit is usually November. It was back in November the 24th. I think we had a report just before the December council, so that's updated with the responses, and that will go back to him tomorrow. His year-end visit will be towards the end of May, the financial year-end. So that's all gone out for information.
Thank you. Any comments on this report? Councillor Hopkins?
Yes, some of the negative reports referred to the Droitwich standing orders. And in the answer was that we've approved the new standing orders. But I can't recall seeing them. I mean, I've got 2021.
Yeah.
And based on our recent experience, I think it's pretty important that copies are made available.
I can answer that. They were sent out in December and it was resolved at the December council, the latest version 2025, 15th of December last year, the last meeting of the full council. Financial regulations and standing orders. They're also on the website, yeah.
So there's a copy, something similar to that on there.
They went out the week before full council in December.
I had a problem with my computer, as you probably know, about that time, so I obviously missed that. Could I have a copy?
Yeah. Say they're on the website, but I'll send you the copy of both tomorrow.
Any other comments? No, thank you very much. Item 10, to receive and consider the minutes of the undermentioned committee meetings. Planning Committee, 12th of January, Community and Amenities Committee, 12th of January, and Resources and Sustainability Committee, 12th of January. Can we take this on block, please? So can I have somebody?
Two orders on.
Thank you. A seconder, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you very much indeed. Item 11, consideration for the setting up of an overview and feasibility working group for the town council. I thought this had been.
Yes, Chairman, I've been advised this morning that that's been withdrawn for now.
Sorry, can I just make a note point here that we were going to bring a motion to the town council in December. And then we were asked to delay it by Councillor Richter, so we could have a discussion around how to sort of bring that forward to this meeting. We then met with Rick, Councillor Della, Councillor Duffy last week, and it was agreed a way forward would be to introduce a motion around having a scrutiny panel, which was at the time was clearly stated in the meeting that was going to be seconded by myself. So I don't know why that hasn't been recorded or if it even has to be. And now we've been told that's been withdrawn, and we've sort of jumped through every hoop for the Conservative group, and yet we're left in a position where our motion's still not gone forward because we're trying to work with these. Now, I wasn't told it had been withdrawn, which I thought would have been pretty nice if, saying that we'd had a discussion about it, and I was meant to be seconding this. So, I mean, what is going on here? We even after the absolutely disastrous meeting we had last year, we've still put our faith in this to sort of work together. And we've then gone through effectively 2 meetings where we've pushed back and withdrawn our motion to work with these, and yet there's nothing coming the other way. No phone call, no message to say it's been withdrawn. And this was your proposal. So can I ask what is going on here? This is just madness.
Councillor Duffy.
So having a forum within the town council to go quite deep into some of the more technical documents that we're seeing more and more of is still something I quite believe in. I think it does give it more value to wait until we see more detail of how government is going to change in the spring. So I think that's part of the reason that we are likely to see more and more technical documents. So I still think it's a very valuable idea. I'm still quite keen to discuss it in the spring when we know a bit more about how local government's going to shape up. I think whilst I'd be quite keen to look at the standing orders that ourselves and the town councils all around the county and or possibly even country, depending on whether it was standing orders from NALC or CALC. Now, so the standing orders that town parish councils across the country are adopting. So, I want to make sure that any motion or any idea of changing them doesn't put us against the recommendations of NALC. Which is why I think having that sort of forum to better discuss these things gives us more of a way to shape them, and in a way that other town councils can also benefit from. So I'm still quite keen for this, but I do think waiting till the spring when we have more of an idea of what our town council responsibilities will look like will give us a better position for it.
Well, I'd like to come back to that, but Councillor Humphreys, let's have a hand.
Councillor Humphreys.
Thank you. I hear what you're saying about waiting to the spring. I'm presuming you mean spring this year and not spring next year, when we will go through some of the local government changes, because that does seem a long way away. Probably not as long as we think. But it does seem that if we make the starts now and put together some kind of overview and feasibility panel, and build as we're going along with that. So start it now with a fairly kind of not too rigid a structure, and build that as we go, as we find out more. Otherwise, we'll be playing catch up. We'll a lot of other levels of all the other levels of local government have some kind of overview, scrutiny, whatever you want to call it. They oversight, whatever. They have a committee that looks at that, and we don't. So I don't want us playing catch up in 6 months, 12 months, how many other months it is, because we've now got to organise this. Why can't we get this going? I don't see what would happen that would make this unviable in 3, 6, 12 months. In fact, actually, I think to have this would help us when it comes to having another panel that can look at things, that can support with work, with the changes that are coming for the town council. Surely it's better to be prepared in advance and not playing catch up.
Councillor Duffy.
Yeah, so, all the levels of local government above us have a statutory requirement to have overview and scrutiny, which is where town councils are quite different. And, there's probably a good reason to that. I think it's worth exploring. I just think that come this spring, as is my intention, we will know more about the different shapes that local government are going to take, which gives us a bit more insight, a bit more of a insightful start to what I see as quite a valuable working group.
Councillor Franks, I'll give you one chance to speak again.
I suppose Councillor Humphreys probably said a lot of it, but I mean, to me, it's about this working relationship. I mean, that's I think Councillor Humphreys has said what I was going to say about in terms of the motion and having a panel, etc. But for me, it's about this working relationship, which I feel like the opposition group have put a lot of faith in yourselves to sort of try and create a working relationship, and yet it doesn't seem to be. It seems to be feels like very much one-way traffic at the moment. And am I to believe that this is really genuinely going to go forward to the March council meeting and we hold off again and again? Or what, do we just have to unfortunately get on with putting our motions in and expecting them to fail each time?
Councillor Dillon, did you want to say?
Yeah, I did. I think we can work closer together. I do think that. I've said that to you multiple times now. I feel there is hostility coming from this way. I get you're frustrated. We've said we'd defer it, we haven't said we'd cancel it. But I think it's important, as Councillor Duffy said, that we get it right. There's no point rushing into it. Let's get it right. But there's stuff we still don't know about LGR. So why rush? Let's make sure we get it right, and then we can come back with a more formed motion. And I will work with you on that. I said that.
Yeah, but the panel we weren't even talking about LGR originally. We were talking about standing orders.
Yeah.
So that we could be talking about plenty of other things, not including LGR, and we can bring in LGR at a later date when we're ready. I mean, personally, I think we're ready now. We can start the discussions on LGR because we should be starting discussions on LGR anyway. But we don't even have to cover that initially. We can just get on with standing orders like it was the basis for the original motion that we were trying to bring forward, and hence why we delayed it, and hence why we withdrew. So you could bring forward you could bring forward the panel. So I'm still a bit confused by it all, but I've said my piece now, so I'll move on. I think Councillor Davidson had his hand up.
Yes, Councillor Davidson, what did you wish to say?
All it was something that I could wait until we discuss it in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just I don't like the idea of things being secret and
Yes.
and the public not being there.
Thank you. So are we finished with this now? And we'll discuss it. Councillor Franks,
So I was just wondering what I was referring to.
you were not here at my last meeting, my last full council meeting. So I will apologise for you not knowing what I said there. I said we have been elected by the people of Droitwich for the people of Droitwich, and we should respect each other and not bring politics into our meetings. So can we please have respectful meetings without mumblings and without saying things about the opposition does this and the opposition does that and everything. We work together from now on, please. No more mumblings and grumblings about the Conservatives did this and that and the other. So can we now finish this and carry on with the meeting? Thank you. Yes, Councillor Humphreys.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Absolutely, that we should all work together.
Yes.
And I would like that sentence to cover everybody, please,
It does come out.
including us. We are the opposition, elected as well. We are not the enemy. Please work with us, all of you. I know Councillor Della Absolutely, yes, you've spoken to us before and that's been great, but please, all of you, work with us, not against us.
Thank you, that's all I want, thank you. Right, we will go. Item 12, to consider the exclusion of the public and press by passing the following motion. That the press and public be now excluded from the meeting under the provision of the Public Bodies Admission to the Meetings Act 1960 by virtue of the confidential nature of the business about to be transacted, which involves financial and legal matters. So I want a proposer, please, and a seconder. Thank you very much. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Oh, James, go on as well.